Welcome everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 4, Episode 5 of War of the Ring, and we are playing with all expansions. We've got Warriors of Middle-earth, Lords of Middle-earth. Our scenario today that we're playing is the Council of Rivendell. So this is the one that has us starting the Fellowship, where Gimli was actually not in the Fellowship. He was up with the Dwarves in Erebor. Legolas was with the Elves in the Woodland Realms, and Boromir is already in Minas Tirith. So we just had a good round 4, and we're jumping into round 5. In round 4, both Gondor and the Elves are now at war. Rohan has progressed, and we've got to move the dwarves and the northerners down. Before we jump into gameplay, quick shout out to this channel's sponsor, Pontos Fathom Press. We have a bookstore link down below. Our first volume of the lecture series is out. If you're interested in essays around Lovecraft, Frank Herbert, and Philip K. Dick. But our third book will be coming out later this year, featuring Tolkien, necromancy, Sauron, Numenor, and Atlantis. Some good stuff. If you'd like to go check out our Patreon, you can see some of this in digital format for as little as $1. Go check that out, and as usual, liking and subscribing helps us with the all-seeing eye of the algorithm and helps us to grow the channel. And as usual, your comments are read. Special thanks to all the Patreons and commenters below. Thanks a lot for your support, guys, and we will start doing a monthly Patreon comments shout out episode where I'll sort of get the dialogue going like that on our way to getting to streaming. So get to 1,000, I'm going to start to do live streaming, maybe go over to Twitch. So let's jump into round number 5. We'll start out with clearing our dice back across here. And grabbing our cards, our event cards. For our free folk, we've got Saruman is a neighbor, speeding on the wind, and swift boats. Then we've got for shadow player, Morgul wound, return to Valinor, and the servants of Sauron. So we'll get those here. Let us roll our dice. Okay, so we've got these. I forgot to leave a die for the eye, so I will put that die there for the eye, and we will go forward with these. Strider is still our leader, so we can move one hunt, one fellowship track position without incurring a hunt turn. So I think we'll start off doing that. We will move to position 4 for our fellowship player. Next up, we will jump into our shadow player. And let's see, we've got a leader card. We've got muster armies. We've got Saruman in play. Let's look at some of the other factions from the Warriors of Middle-earth. If Saruman is in play, you may use one muster or recruit faction die to bring the Dunedain into play. So let's do that. Let's bring our Hillmen into play as well. The Hillmen come into play. So starting setup is 2 in Dunlin and 2 in South Dunlin, 2 in North Dunlin and 2 in South Dunlin. So the Hillmen are now into play. I will grab these like this. So we've got the Hillmen are now recruited. So we've got the Ents and the Hillmen in play. We'll just sort of leave these out like this so we can kind of keep track. And that's going to use a muster, correct? Yep, so cool, we got that going. It says about the Hillmen, the Hillmen of Dunland. Let's do a quick read about the Hillmen of Dunland, what they tell us about in the booklet. And we can also read about the Ents, just to kind of call out these details here. So for the Hillmen, it says Not in a 5,000 years have they forgotten their grievance. The old hatred Saruman has inflamed. They are fierce folk when roused. They will not give way from dusk or dawn until Theoden is taken, or they themselves are slain. The wild men of Dunland considered the horse lords of Rohan to be the usurpers of their rightful homeland, and it was easy for Saruman to exploit this enemy to his advantage. While resolute in their hatred, the Dunlandings feared the enemy deeply and therefore are not very reliable in battle. And let's just read the Ents as well, because we've got them in play as well. The Ents says the Ents, we are stronger than trolls. We are made of the bones of the earth. We can split stone like the roots of trees. One quicker, far quicker if our minds are roused. If we are not hewn down or destroyed by fire or blasts of sorcery, we could split Isengard to splinters. The shepherds of the trees of Fangorn are the last members of the ancient race. Enraged by the actions of the wizard Saruman, they finally enter the fray. Ents are powerful and relentless in their fury, but the companions of the ring must rouse them in time in order for the Ents to intervene. So we've got the Ents live. We've got the Hillmen of Dunland live. So back over to the Free Folk. Let's have Gandalf. Also, let's see, what about recruiting? Let's just see about recruiting the Eagles as well. Can we recruit the Eagles? Maybe we can bring them in. So it says the Eagles, if the fellowship's less, okay, it's not Rivendell. So we still can't bring them in because of that. So I'm just going to move Gandalf and the Ents to Helm's Deep. And we'll sort of accrue this using a move armies. So we'll use a move army. That's that die. This is here. So we use this move army for that. And we'll also get to move a second army, which will move Aedoras to Westemnet. We'll move them there. We'll kind of go to Helm's Deep. So that will be a second dice. Let's go to the Shadow player. Shadow player can also go ahead and do a muster. They'll move the... let's have them move the army. Oh, no, that's not an army one. This one is a move army. They will move the the southernlings from near Harad to here. And they can also move an army into Minas Morgul. So that will be their die. Next up, we have... Let's go ahead and move the Fellowship again. We'll move the Fellowship once more. This time the die has to go there, so we can go ahead and roll a check for the... And we'll roll. And the Fellowship stays hidden. So let's keep that die there. Back to the Shadow player. They will go ahead and let's have them go ahead and move the North Dunland and South Dunland and have them also move down into the Gap of Rohan so they can join Isengard here. This is going to be a massive battle. Back over to the Fellowship players. They can do a diplomatic action with a muster. They will move the dwarves one more down. Oh, and we also can activate the Rohan. So we'll activate that. Bring them a bit closer to war. Let's also bring a muster action for let's have a muster action Play an event card. They can play an event card. The shadow player will use a muster to play an event card. And we are also going to have to discard a card from this. So they take one of their musters to play an event card. They have got 1, 2, 3. So they will have to reject a new power is rising. They can reject that one. Well, actually, they might want to play that one. Let's see if there's one that we can reject that's better. Strongly guarded. We'll cost that one out. And we'll put on give it to us. We'll add give it to us to the pool. We'll add that into the hunt pool when they reach the track. So let's just get that played there. And give it to us is here. It's a 1. This is also in the pool now. Okay, next up is the free folk. They also have a ability to play a card. They will also have to discard a card. Let's see what they can play. Place 3 Ents on this card. Saruman is a neighbor. Let's play that. That looks kind of cool. We'll also have to... Oh, no, wait. We're going to play Swift Boats. Play if the fellowship is in an unconquered free people settlement. And move the fellowship without rolling the hunt. So they're going to move the fellowship one more shot. That's going to be that for their die. We're going to play a card again for the shadow folk. Let's have them play... recruit 2 Isengard regulars into the North and South Dunland. So 2 Isengard regulars into North and South Dunland get recruited, okay? That's good for them. And then finally we've got a Will of the West. Let's bring Aragorn into play. I think we've used him enough. So Aragorn will come into play as Aragorn. If Strider is in Minas Tirith, Dol Amroth, or Peligar, so we don't know where he is. Minas Tirith. Okay, so he has to leave the fellowship. So how can he leave the fellowship? Let's see. Let's use the Will of the West to have him leave the fellowship. Yeah, so he will leave the fellowship. But so we can put him somewhere, right? So he has to be 6 places from here. So let's have him put him right here. Okay, so he's there 6 places out. He's left the fellowship and so he can be replaced, and we will replace that. Let's just do our last card for the shadow people. The shadow folk, they can move a leader. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually move one of my Nazgul to here, and then I can sweep him with a move the leader next time. That's how I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring that army into Orthanc. And that is going to wrap it up for turn number 5. We'll see you in turn number 6 in the next round. So thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.